It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Kitchen Land USA, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey there, good morning to you on Tuesday. Another cold one out there in the Ozarks. Very cold outside. And that's part of the reason that Springfield Public Schools are closed for a second straight day. Also, a lot of side streets and rural areas are snow-covered, causing problems for bus routes. Major roads, as you know, if you've been out, are mostly clear, but a lot of neighborhood streets and rural areas still have snow over the roads there. Nearly 7 inches of snow fell officially in Springfield, recorded at the National Weather Service out by the airport over the weekend. This day today and yesterday uses up the district's last built-in snow days, meaning future closures, if there are any, will shift to remote learning. So that's where we are right now. A lot of other districts also closed today around the Ozarks. And because of how cold it is, ice is forming on a lot of waterways. That doesn't mean it's safe. Springfield fire officials are reminding people to stay off frozen ponds and lakes after the recent and current cold snap. They say ice that looks safe can break without warning, maybe not as safe as it looks, and it leads to life-threatening situations. If you see someone fall through, you obviously call 911 immediately. This happened earlier this week. A woman went out to try to rescue her dog in Galena, and a witness heard about it, went out there and was able to pull them to safety. And then I read about up in the Kansas City area, a man was rescued out of what was a frozen pond, along with a calf. So here's what I see. The trend I see is that people are going in after the animals that get out on the frozen stuff and then fall through, and it doesn't work out well for humans. Although in both of these cases, everybody got out alive.
Yes, amen to that. A 65-year-old man has died from his injuries that he suffered in a house fire in Springfield. Firefighters were called to a home on North Kansas Expressway early Friday morning. They say they found Paul Smart outside with severe burns. He was taken to Mercy Hospital, where he later died. Investigators say that fire was accidental. This is Springfield's second fire fatality this year, 2026. A second person has pleaded guilty in a federal fraud scheme involving Springfield's affordable towing company. Christy Engel admitted to submitting forged documents to get titles for stolen vehicles, which were then sold or scrapped. She worked under company owner Dennis Cleveland, who pleaded guilty last month and is awaiting sentencing. Engel now faces decades in prison on multiple federal charges.
Seems like that affordable towing, there's something that we report on it like every couple of months. It just keeps happening.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it was shocking. I felt like I sort of knew Dennis Cleveland from doing stories for so many years. And it was shocking to me, to be honest with you, like in getting to know him a little bit and then finding out this stuff is, for me, surprising, although I don't know him like super well,
Yeah.
But he used to do a lot for the homeless population and just a lot.
Yeah. Well, here's a question. Could Springfield be getting a sphere like the one in Las Vegas? The answer is a very simple, not a chance. That thing costs about $2.5 billion. So that's not happening. But here's something. The sphere's architects could be the ones to design Springfield's new convention center if voters approve a new 3% lodging tax in April. So the same designer.
I was really wondering where you were going with that.
That's how you get people hooked. They're like, what?
You had me.
Springfield.
You had me at hello, in fact, but that worked too.
The country's third sphere is going to be in Springfield. No, it's not. It is not. But the designers could design the convention center if it happens.
Okay.
Those designers will be here for a public workshop tomorrow evening, 5:30 to 7 at the Discovery Center. You can show up there if you're interested in hearing what they have to say and what their ideas are. They're going to take feedback, and then they're going to come up with a proposed design very unsphere-like, probably.
I'm
And
sure.
then they will unveil it in March. That's
Our one
interesting.
story from the Sphere is I thought Ethan might have a heart attack while we were up there because he was so scared.
I was scared.
In the Sphere, you were white knuckled in the middle. You weren't even out toward the edge.
No, you don't. You're talking about the stratosphere. That's a completely different thing.
Oh, the stratosphere.
The stratosphere tower
About
is
the
what you're
one that
talking
looks
about.
like a big circle? Like a
Yeah, the
sphere?
sphere.
Like the actual sphere?
That
In my
dome thing
mind
with the screen on
yeah,
the
yeah, I'm
outside of it
tracking with
that
you now. What's the
everybody
one
talks
called
about and
that's, like,
knows
high
about.
in the air?
Huh?
The one that's really high in the air, what's it called?
The stratosphere.
The stratosphere.
Stratosphere tower. Yeah, I was like, how was I scared in that thing?
Okay, so in my mind, you were, like, proposing that Springfield was gonna get a stratosphere. Not only they're not gonna get a sphere, but they're also not gonna get a stratosphere.
They would
But I'm
it's
tracking
more
with you now.
likely that they would get a stratosphere tower in Springfield than a sphere.
Okay. But the designer
But we're
of
getting
the
neither.
sphere, which is actually even cooler than the stratosphere, that's what you're telling me?
You were the only one that's confused by this story, and you're the
Sorry.
news lady.
Well, all I could picture was my husband white knuckled in the middle of the stratosphere in Las Vegas. And I was like leaning out over the edge, and
It's very high, and I
he
don't
was
care
about
for
to
heights.
lose it.
I don't care for heights. I was so nervous. We watched over the weekend. We'll get back to the news here in a second. Bear with us. But we watched over the weekend this dude climb the skyscraper in Taipei
Mhm.
without ropes, without anything. And
Free solo. Isn't that
I
what that's
was
called? Yeah, free solo.
I was so physically uncomfortable watching that. I had to hide my face a few times. It just makes me I feel it gutturally. It makes me queasy. And I was talking at work with somebody about that, and we were actually they're building a new walkway that's up high that's going to go out to the new manufacturing facility for tours. So it's not finished yet, but we were out walking on the part that is finished, and it's pretty high. And I was standing there, and I brought up the skyscraper climb, and I had to hold on to the rail standing there, and there's no chance I was going to fall off. It's like 2.5 stories up, but it made me very nervous.
It's true.
So anyway, are we all clear? The sphere, we know what that is.
I feel like the listeners were clear all along.
I think that's true. I think that's
But I
true.
wasn't.
There's one person confused.
Listen, it was confusing. The sphere, the stratosphere.
Yeah, they're very similar.
I'm thinking like Hammond's Tower, sphere, downtown. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
All right, back to the news. It was a little break brought to you by our sponsors at the bottom of the screen. Ozarks Tech is moving forward with plans for a parking garage at its Springfield campus. The college says they don't have much room, so they need to build up instead of out. The garage expected to cost about $7 million. Boy, nothing's cheap anymore, is it? $7 million for a garage, but you got to do what you got to do. Could take about 2 to 3 years to complete once they start. They are looking at 3 possible locations and haven't decided on one yet. Ozarks.
All right. Bill moving through the Missouri Senate would remove sales tax from baby bottles, wipes, and breast pump supplies. The sponsor says it's a way to ease the cost of raising a child and build on last year's tax break for diapers. The proposal comes as lawmakers debate major tax changes and budget cuts. Supporters say even small savings can make a big difference for families. And I say, yes and amen. That would be great.
It's true.
I'm no longer diapering a baby, but it would have been helpful.
Yeah.
Springfield, this is fun. We'll kick off the Route 66 100th birthday party with a national spotlight this spring. We now know a little bit more about it. It starts on April 30th. It will have a live broadcast from NBC's Today Show, followed by 4 days of music, events, and dedications. Pretty cool. A new birthplace plaza and 20-foot monument will honor Springfield's role in naming the Mother Road. The festival wraps up with a Route 66 themes art fest downtown.
There's also going to be part of that is a huge concert at JQH, or Great Southern Bank Arena. A bunch of country artists, I think Rascal Flatts and
Nice.
Little Big Town. John Goodman's going to MC that, I believe. So there's a lot that's going to be going on. So it's exciting. Celebrating 100 years of Route 66.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then there's this to tell you about. Former NFL star Rob Gronkowski is coming to Springfield as the keynote speaker for the Boys and Girls Club's annual Steak and Steak fundraiser. That's set for April 7th at University Plaza. Last year's dinner, I should say, raised more than $250,000 for local youth programs, and they're going to try to do more and do better this year. That's just great. Gronk joins a list of high-profile past speakers who have come into town to support the cause. They always get a big name for that, and if you watch any commercials at all, you know Gronkowski because he's on all of them.
Well, I mean, it pays off clearly because that's pretty amazing to raise $250,000 in a town the size of Springfield at a dinner.
On one night,
On one night. That's amazing. That's very cool.
Good stuff.
Well, I'm excited for them. Hey, thanks for watching this morning. Thank you to our sponsors, by the way. We could not do it without you. Springfield Greene County Park Board. Where would we be without the park system? Also, Thompson Sales, Kitchen Land USA. Thanks to both of them. Advanced Car Care Center. We actually had to go there yesterday. True story. To fix my brakes. So thank you. It was nice to meet them. They did a great job. So far, so good. I just started driving my car again, but Smouse Brothers Foundation Repair and United Plumbing. And I'm hoping that we don't need United Plumbing anytime soon.
They do great work, but
I did see some plumbers yesterday coming into the neighborhood. Did you see that? And I just was like, oh man, somebody's pipes couldn't handle it. Right
there, but for the grace of God, go we.
I know, seriously.
But they'll be there if we need them. I'll tell you that much.
Yes. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and we do hope to see you back here tomorrow morning.
Indeed, we do. See you. Have a great day.
Bye.